Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's your guy Igor here. Today's video is dedicated to a horrible life in a Canadian basement, guys. I wanted to show you how bad it is or good to live in a Canadian basement, what it is, because the funny part is, when I used to call my parents back in Ukraine, and I'll say, "Hey, I'm living in the basement." Everyone was like, "Yeah, that must be mice or rats. Or like, am I homeless, or what's going on?" And people were like terrified. So I'm gonna show you what it is like living in a basement in Canada in today's video. By the way, what's up and welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's your guy Igor here. Now let's go. So the basement is, well, if you're going to some 1970s or 1980s, in this case bungalow, let's go inside. I'm going to show you. Upstairs is where the owners usually live, and they make noise. Downstairs is the basement, so let's go to the basement. I'll show you guys how it is like living in a Canadian basement in Calgary, Alberta. Here we are. Look at this horrible place, guys. That's the kitchen, living room, dining area. Look at this, guys. This Canadian basement. This is where you do the dishes. A full-size stove, microwave, coffee maker. Not bad. A full-size refrigerator. Yeah, this is a horrible Canadian basement, guys. Also, let me show you. There's a mirror, just in case you want to put some makeup and things like that. A dining table over here, living space with the TV, and there is a window. Guys, I want to say that, well, living in a Canadian basement, there are some negative things about it. So what are the negatives about living in a Canadian basement? Well, first of all, you're down to the ground, like the hot air, it's cold in Canada, so the hot air tends to go up. People upstairs have warmer everything. Downstairs you might have to be a little bit more dressed up, like that, and it's a little bit colder. And also sometimes it's really noisy upstairs. You can hear the noise from upstairs going downstairs, and sometimes like some kind of ants or something, some kind of caterpillar, something gets into the basement because it's more underground. Like, I'm not joking, we are underground. Look at this. So, see, there is a window well, so you literally have to climb out if something happens. But there's a nice working station here. There's a night lamp. And of course, it's a little bit darker because the windows are smaller in general. But look at this, guys. It's a full-size bathroom. Let me show you around. As you can see, full-size shower. There is a vent. There is actually a heating, so that's the furnace where it heats up the bathroom. It's actually one of the warmest bathrooms I've ever encountered, guys. And yeah, when my parents would call me, they're like, "Hey Igor, where are you living?" I'm like, "I'm living in the basement." And they'll be like, "What? You're living in the basement? You moved to Canada to live in a basement? Is that a Canadian dream?" Guys, look at this. That's not what my parents expect when I tell them, "Oh, I'm living in the basement." What my parents would expect. There is also a window here, and of course all of this works, guys. So what are the good parts about basement? It's way cheaper to rent a basement, guys. It's way cheaper to rent a basement than to rent anything else. So what people do, guys, what people do, I'll tell you in a moment. So check this out. I'll tell you some hacks that you might have not known. There's one more bedroom over here, and of course there's a window and everything. So what is the hack? What do people do with the basement? So I'll tell you something. I'll put some money into your pocket with this information. So this is how we purchased our first property with my wife. You live in a basement, you get to save money. How much is the house worth? You want to rent a house in Calgary? Well, let's say $3,400. You know how much a basement you can get for? $1,600. So maybe even cheaper in some places. So yes, it is way cheaper to rent a basement than to own. Than to have, let's say, an apartment or a house. So you save money. And in Canada, everything is super expensive, and the less money you spend for your rent, it's the biggest expense, or a mortgage, the more money goes into your own pockets. So yes, guys, I want to say that this is the basement. I don't live in this basement. This is my house. So this place belongs to me. We purchased this place just in the beginning of the last year. I do multiple Airbnbs and I just clean this place. It's our Airbnb and that's how we make a life. That's how I buy properties. I buy properties with illegal basements, then I legalize them. I increase the value of the property. I put some money into my pocket in terms of equity like that. And also it helps me pay for the mortgages. I work as a real estate agent with eXp Realty myself, and my properties, they tend to pay for themselves, and I have multiple properties. I invest into real estate. But I want to say, guys, I lived in the basement myself. Now this is far better than the one that I had. My basement didn't have a window where I was renting. In terms of fire, I would just be a roasted turkey inside. There's no way to escape. So, yes, his basement is way better than the one that I was renting in Marlborough Mall, in one of the highest crime rate areas as well at that time when I came to Calgary in 2014 and I came to Canada in 2012. Guys, and I want to say that it helped us save up money for our first down payment to buy a condo. Guys, anything that you save. I used to work for oil and gas. And I used to work for a company like that, and I was driving for Uber. My coworkers made fun of me. They're like, hey, maybe you're going to give me a ride home. I'm like, yeah, for sure, $20 and I'll give you a ride. Because they didn't understand that. But I was doing a couple of hours after work. It was $200 a week. It was $800 a month. It was about $10,000 a year, because I made more money, and sometimes I would do a weekend or so. And that $10,000, my vacation to Mexico, my Peruvian trip, it was a way for me to enjoy life, and was a down payment for a property. Our first property we purchased with $11,000 down payment, which is 5% of 230,000 Canadian dollars. All I'm saying, guys, is money matters. It doesn't matter where you live in Canada. It doesn't matter if you're working as a barista. It doesn't matter if you're doing whatever labor jobs, guys. What matters is you have a job. You see, guys, when you see a lot of people coming from back home from my country, they're like, hey, Igor, this is like everyone is dressed up. People barely speak English. They don't have enough money. They need help and everything like that. But everyone is fancy and everyone is. But honestly, we immigrants, we have lots of ego. But now I'm even dressing up like Canadians. I'm literally dressing up. Sometimes I feel like a homeless person because I don't wear anything fancy. I made a family of Ukrainians who are searching for jobs. Every kid has the latest iPhone. They have Supreme branded clothes. They have Gucci bag, and I'm like, oh man, yeah, you know what? This is Canada. You don't need all of that. I mean, maybe, in Eastern Europe, that's how you do a display of wealth, which people actually can have way more money than Eastern Europeans, and they don't show off. All I'm saying is here, what matters is that you save up money. You mind your own business, you build your own wealth, you buy your own home. Here's the trick that I said, I'll put your money into your pocket besides Airbnb and everything. Ask me questions about anything, guys. I'll also leave a referral link for you if you're joining Airbnb. That will be helpful for you if you're starting out, and I'll help you out with a couple of questions as well. But anyways, the link is in the description of this video, guys, and I've been doing Airbnb for the past 4 years now. I cannot believe it. I am probably more professional than professional cleaners now because I've been running my own Airbnbs. But anyways, hear me out, guys. What the people do sometimes is they would buy a home like this, but then the owner would live in a basement and the owner end upstairs. This way, it would cover even bigger chunk of your mortgage. How about that? And I'll tell you, guys, my entire mortgages are covered by my investment properties. So I'm also utilizing the same hack that I'm telling you guys, and that's how you do it in Canada. You have to be smart. Some people just want, I want 2,000, 3,000, 3,000 square feet house. I don't need a basement. I want privacy. I want this. I want comfort. Yeah. But then you're not making any money. And then you're paying your own mortgage. And then you complain saying that how expensive it is to live in Canada. And you're not willing to sacrifice the comfort for that. I'm still living like a freaking refugee in Canada, and I have 3 properties and I have big net worth and everything so far with the real estate. I also have a huge debt, but I'm just struggling like you are and everything with everything. And I want to say, guys, I don't mind living in whatever conditions, doing whatever jobs in order to make ends meet, because a lot of people here, they just want a good life, no sacrifices and everything. But things are getting more difficult in Canada, honestly. I went to Walmart to save money and not to go to Costco, because I always spend like $400 just per visit, and I still spent $350 somehow. I don't know. Anyways, guys, it's pretty expensive, but I'm still hopeful for Canada. I still don't think Canada is going only the way down. A lot of people are complaining that it's going to hell. I feel like China is doing far worse. Ukraine, where I'm originally from, is doing way worse. I mean, there are so many other countries, if you look around the world, that are doing way worse than Canada. Canada is pretty doing still pretty good. And I hope we can make it better, not worse, and let's see how it goes. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I want to read your comments. I want to see what you think about the basement. Did you ever live in a basement? Were you ever thinking of starting an Airbnb? Did you ever supplement your mortgages with basement incomes like I'm doing right now? Let me know in the comments down below. And guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. And finally, I'm not living in the basement. This is our basement that we are renting out. People are going to be moving in the next 10 minutes. It's almost 4 p.m. Check-in time for Airbnb. And I have to keep the laundry outside of this basement so that people can check in. But anyways, see you next video. Bye for now.